Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be doing something that I've wanted to try out for a couple of years now, and that is making a set of carbon fiber knuckles, brass knuckles, but made out of carbon fiber. And we're going to be using this massive brick of carbon fiber we've got here, and you can see it's super thick and then obviously big enough that we can make a set of these out of it. So what we'll be doing, I've drawn up this design here. You can see we'll just overlay it like this. And then all it's going to require is these 3 hole saws. And these are 3 that I grabbed. I might switch the sizes up a little bit, but to show you guys the idea, I'm going to be taking this largest one and cut a hole here, 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 and here. And then I'll take a medium-sized one and do 1, 2, 3 like that. And then obviously there's going to be a little bits and pieces left over. I'm going to have to hand sand those out of the way. But this gives us a lot of the bulk of the material cut out. And then the smallest one I'll use for right here. So that's pretty much it for the design, guys. It's fairly simple, and you can see I do like the looks that it will give us, and it won't waste too much material. And this was honestly, I won't get into the details too much, but it was the only way of making a set of carbon fiber knuckles this thick that I could think of. You can't use a bandsaw or anything else like that. You can use like an angle grinder to cut this, but you can't cut holes out that are that intricate with an angle grinder, obviously. So it's a really tricky material to work with in a thickness like this. And so we're just gonna have to do our best to hack it out. And I think these diamond hole saws are gonna be the key to making this work. So my next step is I'm just going to glue this template on here and then just figure out exactly which hole saws I'm going to use in which order, all of those little details. So I'll quickly walk you through those steps and then get straight over to the drill press because I'm anxious to get started. All right, so I'm about to lay it all out here, but one thing I just realized is the design I've got here, it does not leave a lot of room to show off the carbon fiber pattern that you can see here. And I think that's just kind of a waste. It looks so good. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely eliminate this middle space here. I'm just going to leave this solid carbon fiber right here. That way we can get a really good look at that weave pattern. Otherwise, I might as well just use some cheaper, lower quality stuff, because one thing that this carbon fiber that Carbon Waves makes is really good for is that beautiful, really glossy, nice top coat that it has. And so I'm going to take advantage of that. So I'm going to get rid of this for this design. And so that's going to simplify things a bit. I'm just going to use 2 different hole saw sizes for it. So that's what I'm going to figure out now. I'm just going to go through, pick the sizes that I want, and then I'll use a Sharpie to exaggerate where those are going to be to help me line it up while I cut it out. And then I'll just cut it all out with an X-Acto knife, put it all in place, and go ahead and get cutting. All right, I've got it all laid out. I've got it glued and taped into place so it shouldn't go anywhere while we're cutting. And the last thing to mention is you're definitely, if you're trying anything like this at home, definitely want a dust mask. This is going to put out so much carbon fiber. And the issue with carbon fiber, it's not an organic material. It's not just going to break down in your body. So if you get dust in your lungs, it's going to stay in there almost forever. So do wear a mask. Don't mess around with this. But other than that, I've got all of my hole saws selected and sized out, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, now I've got all the holes cut out, as you can see here. Now I need to remove all of the excess carbon fiber, and to do that, I'm going to use the abrasive wheel on this angle grinder. And it's kind of tricky to cut with it, so I need to cut straight lines. So you can see I picked 3 straight lines to do. And then once I have this rough kind of trapezoid shape cut out of it, then we'll go in and I might use a combination of the angle grinder as well as some sanding options, and we'll get it to its final dimensions. And then after that, all we'll have to worry about is the finish on it, so just sanding and polishing. So I've repeated these lines on this side. That way, if I slip with the angle grinder, I'll only hit this side, which is much less pretty than this side. So I'll put this in the vise. I'm going to start my first cut here, then I'll do the second cut here, then third one here. And then when you're cutting carbon fiber, especially this much with an angle grinder like I'm doing, it creates an insane amount of dust. So I've got my dust mask here. I'm going to be using that. That'll keep all of that out. And then angle grinders are loud, so I've got hearing protection and then eye protection as well. Okay. Let's get started. All right, so that actually went pretty well. It was really straightforward. We just cut all the pieces off, as you can see here. Now what I'm doing is I'm using this belt sander, and we're gonna just hone it in a little bit and get it a lot closer to the final edges that we'll want. All right, so I used that rough sanding belt and got it pretty close to our final dimensions. Now I switch it over to a much finer one that'll give us a much better surface finish. And then I'll just finish just kind of honing in the edges. Then after that, I'll switch over, probably do a lot of hand sanding and then get some of the places like these little cracks right here. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish that on here, so I'll have to figure out a way to do that a little more manually. Okay, I've got all of the main bulk sanding done. Now I need to trim it up using this. I've got this diamond Dremel wheel here. That's what I'm going to use to make the separation in between this back and front part of the knuckles. Same thing over here. Then after that, I'm going to use a combination of different Dremel accessories, and we'll sand it all up, polish it up, and we'll get it looking nice. All right, we've got all of the sanding done. It's time to buff it up. I'll remove the tape from it and we'll have the grand reveal, and then we'll go smash a bunch of stuff. All right, I hope you guys are ready. This looks so good. Check it out. Oh my. You can see that glossy finish was preserved perfectly. So it really looks like a high-end set of knuckles. It's super thick. It'll be really, really strong. It'll do some damage. A lot of damage. All right, let's test this out. Hi, Phil Swift here with carbon fiber knuckles, the easy all-in-one solution for you to smash all of your personal belongings from the safety of your own home. Let's do some damage. Don't tell me I don't stand a chance. Ooh yeah, for you I'll be a different man. Ooh yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. Oh, that was insane. Let's check out the aftermath. Nothing, no cuts. The can is destroyed. Oh, what's this? Oh, you know I'm drinking this. Oh, breakfast of champions. It's fantastic. That worked really well. I was impressed. All right, round one went to the knuckles. Let's see about round two versus the apple. Let you down. There's nothing but you, baby, and I can't get enough. There's something that you give me, and I can't get enough. All right, round two was kind of a toss-up. I didn't get a super square hit on the apple, so I was able to survive a little bit better, but we'll see about round three. The squash is going down. Ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. 'Cause I wanna start a revolution with you. Yeah, I'm gonna start. Ow, that hurts so bad. Holy cow, squash is hardcore. Look at that. It's got a leak. Ew. It hurt my hand, like back here. Like we tested the limits of the brass knuckles really well, or the carbon fiber knuckles, I think. Because that's about as hard as you want to hit. Like obviously that's a lot better than breaking my knuckles, but like my hand hurts, so that's good to know. You know, like if you're using these, you can punch someone as hard as you can, but you're still not gonna like it. But the person's especially not gonna like it. That was pretty bad. Imagine that being your skull. All right, round four, and then we'll be on to our final round, which I'm still not sure if I wanna do it yet or not, so we'll see. I'm gonna punch through the plywood though. Let's see if it'll work. Fixed it. Fix it, Felix. That's funny. Okay. There we go. All right, guys, final round. I decided to do it. I took a metal spike and glued it on the end of the knuckles, put on a glove, and I'm gonna try to punch through this glass sheet. Here's to hoping I don't pay a visit to the hospital. All right, here we go. Do not try this at home. Tell me that you love me. I don't mind waiting for it to show. Holy cow! Are you kidding me? Subscribe to Glass, guys. Unsub Patrick. All right, let's try again. Don't tell me I don't stand a chance. Ooh yeah, for you I'll be a different man. Ooh yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. All right, I'm gonna give this one last try. I took a diamond bit and I went and I scored this whole thing, so hopefully that makes it a little more fragile, and I put a more substantial nut on there. So. No way. All right, I give up. I cannot get this to break. I'll try a final attempt. I've got this hardened piece of steel here. I'm just gonna throw it right in the middle there, see if it'll break. All right, this is for the last try. I've got a live center for a lathe here. This is an extra one. Stuck it on the end of this broom handle. And I'm just gonna hit it right there. This is hardened steel and it's a very sharp point. If this won't do it, I do not know what will. Okay. All right guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you can subscribe. I also have links down to my website as well as my Instagram. I've got a personal page now as well. So links to all of that down in the description. And just don't forget to smash that like button. It won't die. Okay. This is the hardest squash of all time. Okay, last one, guys. Make sure to smash that like button. The squash is gone. Thanks for watching. See you next week.